that too bright?
No, it's fine.
Alright. So, yeah, I had a story.
Alright, what's the story?
Okay, so everybody's out here for their own reasons. Some of them are like vigil. Like, the original kernel thing was that we would pray and directly make homelessness, the ban of camping go away by everybody putting in their intention, whatever spiritual or non-spiritual intention they had. They put it all right here, and this in itself. So there's been thousands of people. A lot of people have their heart, somewhere in here there's a soul for like 1,000 people, a lot of people. And then we're reaching it, across the United States, around the world. They know about this vigil because it's been our occupation since December. So, that's some powerful stuff.
Yeah.
And I wanted to tell my motivation of coming here because it was spiritual, and I just don't tell anybody, and I wanted to. So.
That's good. Well, it is true. I understand the spiritual aspect, and just the belief of something bigger, and more or less the hope for something different.
Well, I used to have this demon because I was raised Catholic, and I loved Catholicism, but it wasn't working for me.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom made a joke, once a Catholic, always a Catholic. And I'm totally into the rosary. And I just work it, and I just love it. And I never wanted to deny the whole Jesus thing. It felt good in some ways because I had this really cool prayer as a kid. So I just put it on hold. And I went, okay, I'm not going to deny, but I'm not going to address this. There's a dichotomy in my mind. I'm, looking at it two different ways, and the whole Son of God thing just didn't work for me. And so I just went, I can love you, but not really dwell on all of the issues that I have. And so I held myself back in Catholicism school a year and gave myself time to talk to a priest. And in the end, I decided not to get confirmed because I didn't believe it. So I just kind of put myself on hold with that whole thing. So without analyzing it too much, and figured, okay, well, I'll just pray for all that to get resolved someday. And then this roundabout thing happened where all my interpretations of what I thought people were telling me, and a lot of people told me the Bible meant and how it was phrased, and it meant this and this and this, and it was real ugly.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like how people used it. I didn't like the way they used it as currency for me to respect them or listen to them or whatever.
Yeah.
I ran across some pamphlet in the Vigil of all things. This is kind of crazy. And I thought it was one of those, it was a Jesus thing, Amazing Life of Christ. And I was looking in here to find out who put it out, to find out if it was somebody who was basically you get to the end of these books and the rant is, and that's why gays go to hell. And I'm like, I took it out of here. And then I looked at it, and it had nothing to do with any of that. It was just your standard life of Christ. Here's these periods of time. And it was in there. I have this other one.
The Amazing Life of Jesus Christ.
That's right. It sounds like a movie. Starring Jesus. Anyway.
Starring Graham as Jesus.
So I have this other one. It's Buddha. Inner Buddha or something like that. And I got that from Dan. He's like, give it to anyone who wants it. Or who needs it, he said. I took it. I needed it.
Yeah?
I was out here in the winter, and it was pretty rad. Because my husband and I both like religions, various religions. We don't like the hate that people use it for, because that's like the opposite of the intent of spirituality, is to use it for hate.
It's totally the opposite of the intent, given the fact that shitloads of wars have been started over religious conflict based on separation of belief,
right.
Different belief.
So I came up with this religion where I was basically thinking that everything was God, and that includes the human being, and sacrilege, apparently, to not think that the only thing holy in you is a soul that departs after life and goes back to heaven, like you rented it. And I was like, no, dude, everything is holy. And I found out that I could call myself Christian and believe in Jesus as an example, and, you know, a special example, like the utmost example of self-sacrifice for love, and, you know, well, all this stuff. What I don't get about the vigil and the, you know, the whole everybody in the city is we get people who just chastise everybody for being homeless with all their assumptions. And if you look at all of these periods of time, including Jesus, that was going on, same stuff, no different day. And yet, we're what, like 80% Christian or something in Portland for religion of choice? And the only thing Jesus ever talked about was how you treat the poor, how you treat your brothers, how you treat me. And the only way through heaven